and I have just finished my last auction for the day, and I'm going to give you a rundown on what happened. A total of 15 auctions. And I'm also going to let you know that even though there is an oversupply of properties on the market right at the one time, in Sydney and in Melbourne that is, I can tell you that the buyers are still there. They're not in the depth that they were before. There's no question about it. The marketplace has changed. I did 15 auctions. Out of the 15, 7 sold. So, what are we seeing? Units not faring well at the moment. Secondly, busy road, house that's got something not quite right about it, they're not faring as well either. Good quality property, things that have got upside, development sites, duplex sites, homes in the top 10% of the streets of the suburb, they're still going off. So it's very clear we're moving into a quality-based market. And what we're saying is those quality properties are not going to be impacted because there's still strong buyer interest in that. And what does that basically mean? That if you're a buyer, you should always buy quality. You should always pay a little bit more. You should always buy the one that everyone else is going for. You want to know why? Because when it comes time to sell, you're going to get that benefit as well. There's a beautiful poem. It is unwise to pay too much, but it's worse to pay too little. When you pay too much, you lose a little money, and that's all. But when you pay too little, sometimes you lose everything because the thing you bought is not capable of doing the thing you needed it to do. It's a great poem that explains that it's always safer, it's always smarter, it's always the right thing to do. Pay the extra money. Get the quality, right? Because it means that if you're bidding on a property that's got 10 people fighting over it, when it comes time to sell, you're going to have the benefit. However, what do we do at the moment, my friends? Well, you make sure that you speak to all your vendors this week, for those of you that have got auctions in the next few weeks, and you go in and you adjust the price guide. Why? Because when you adjust the price guide, the magical buyer always appears. And then what else do? You make sure that you stay super close to the buyers. Trust with buyers has skyrocketed off the charts as a requirement to succeed in this market. So what does that look like? Pre-auction buyer meetings. Do pre-auction buyer meetings 3 days before the auction, face-to-face. If you can't do it face-to-face, do it on Zoom. I want you to look at their eyeballs. I want you to be looking at their eyes when you go through recent comparable sales, right? You want to see what they're going to say. Because I can tell you, if you go into an auction and you haven't worked the buyer up on price, it's going to be too hard to get them on a good number at the auction. You need to be working on them prior to auction. Other things. Getting your reserves. You've got to remind your vendors that if they're the gambling types, all right, if you don't get your money, hang on to it. Take a risk. Market go up, you might get your money next year. But if you're conservative, cash is king. Switzer says it. Cash is king. What do? You sell now. You put the money in the bank, and then you wait to take opportunities. Maybe in December, there'll be a bit of property fatigue then. Anyway, my friends, 5 out of 7. That's the drill. Want to remind everyone, Saturday afternoon callbacks, that's what the smart people do. You can intercept people. And I got to say to you, Saturday callbacks, ring people, ask them, can I ask you, what's the best home you saw today? What's stopping you from buying that one? By the way, have you sold your property yet? Have you sold from where you've come from yet? Some other good questions to be asking when you're making your callbacks. Can I ask you, you came through a house today in Smith Street. Is this going to be your first or second purchase in the area? If it's a second purchase, you know you've got a potential vendor there. Guys and girls, pros ask questions. Amateurs make statements. Ask the best questions. Signing off.